Hello, this is the second video I'm making for my A-level computer science coursework. This one's about usability features, so if I just load up my game. First off, I have clear instructions and prompts. As you can see in every scene of my game, so like the main menu, I have a play, quit, and pretty straightforward prompts of selecting difficulty, that kind of thing. I'll show it when it's paused as well. So quitting, returning, resuming, and I also have it in, let me reduce the music by a little bit. I'll kill myself here and I'll show you the death screen. So it's also here, so I can return, quit, do all of that. And it's also on the you won screen, so after you win, you can also return and quit. Next up is familiar icons. So, for example, in my tutorial, I have a mouse, buttons, WSD keys. Not only that, it's pretty obvious that you have to click these buttons because when you hover over them, they slide to the right, and that just shows that they are buttons. I also have in my sliders familiar icons from these little circles and lines that show that you can drag this around. It should be obvious to probably anyone that these are sliders just by looking at them. They just look like sliders. Next up is player feedback and indicators. So this is pretty obvious. When you hover over a button, not only does its color change, but it also slides to the right, making a very responsive feedback. Also, when you press a button, let me choose like stats. There's a little sound that plays, indicating that you pressed it. Not only that, let me do it over the button. When I left click, the cursor changes color, showing that you're clicking. When you click on the slider, this little circle changes color, showing that you're currently moving it. And yeah, that's about it for my icons, my indicators, sorry. Then standardized controls. It's pretty common that you use shooting as left click, sprinting is left shift, WSD for moving, and then space for jumping. F11 and F10 are just resizing quit, which probably aren't super common since you don't quit and resize a lot in other games, but it's just something that you can do a lot in my game, so I just decided to add it. Then animations and sound effects. Like I said, the buttons slide to the right when you hover over them, which is an animation, and also the sliders, of course, they move left and right. Not only that, when you actually change the slider position, it changes the actual value of the slider, which is shown. And of course, you have the sound effects when pressing stuff. Let me return. Next is a color-blind friendly UI. So I put all my text over my button, and it's always full screen. When I put my text over my button, it's always at a high contrast, so it goes from a light green to like a white or a dark brown, making it very easy to see. I also do this for my tutorial, so I put some black text outline on it to make it easier to see, since there is no background button. I do that here as well, and I don't do it for these ones because it's quite easy to see, because the background is also green, so it's not very hard to see, but it's just very colorblind friendly. Next is the adaptable text size. Scroll down. I have it set to the max right now, but this is the normal size, and then you can increase it to your liking. I really like the max size now. I might change it so that this is the normal. But it just allows people that maybe don't like small text and just can't read it, just to have bigger sizes. Next is consistent button prompts. So, like I said, in each scene in my game, you have a quit and then a return button, either to play the game or to return to the main menu. And resuming, resetting the stats, pretty consistent prompts. And then lastly is the tutorial, which is shown the main menu, which is the first place that, when you start the game, you start the main menu, so it's the tutorial is at the correct place. Not only that, the buttons are easy to see, they cover all the controls, so that's good, and they have clear text on which key needs to be pressed for the actions to happen. And yeah, that's about it for the video.